Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about 10 alternate art Pokemon cards from the Sword and Shield era that are just absolutely popping off. Now, it's not just about looking at the cards, because of course this is a Pokemon investing channel, so I want to give my take around it throughout the process as well. But hey, before we jump into the video, I'd really like this channel to continue to grow. It's been an exciting ride so far over the last 12 months. So thank you to everyone that watches. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you want to become a channel member, you can also do that from the homepage, and it gives you access to shooting me emails. And I hope you're watching, Bentley, because you're always commenting with Pokeoz, the type of guy that. So mate, let's see your best today, and let's get Bentley 100 likes at least when he writes in the whole Pokeoz, the type of guy that does such and such. So 100 likes, mate. I want to see it. Give me your best today. Anyway, on to the topic at hand. Alternate art Pokemon cards from Sword and Shield era. Now, a little bit of background behind it. Okay, they're popping off, and this is, or it should be no surprise. So to go down and backtrack a little bit, so to go down a little bit of a historical road, generally every era of Pokemon cards will have some new element at play. And if we rewind all the way back, of course, we started with holographics from sort of base set through to Neo. Along the way, Legendary Collection introduced the first reverse holos with that firework pattern, which has gone down in history now as just one of the coolest cards to collect. You can get the OGs, something like an OG Charizard in the firework reverse holo, and those cards are just going for phenomenal values. So, and as we keep going through, E-Series introduced crystal Pokemon cards. EX era introduced Gold Star Pokemon cards. As we continued along the journey, we had things like Level X. We had Prime cards throughout Heart Gold, Soul Silver. We moved into Mega Evolutions in XY. Then we had, Tag Team Pokemon with some old arts thrown into the Tag Team. And then Sword and Shield hit with alternate art Pokemon cards. And now, of course, throughout Scarlet and Violet era, we've had the illustration rares and special illustration rares. And I suppose if we take that whole timeline of Pokemon and we think about, what's been a hit and what hasn't, or probably a better word is what's been special and what hasn't. And if we look throughout, we've had things like, gold cards go down as really special. Firework holo pattern from Legendary Collection goes down as something really special. And I just think this real purple patch from Sword and Shield era, including Battle Styles, so Battle Styles through to Silver Tempest, with alternate art Pokemon cards, if we're expanding the span and we go to the next era after Scarlet and Violet and the next era after that, I still think people look back and go, wow, like hats off. That's a fantastic job. The artwork is phenomenal. You can't deny that. But also, to put the other hat on, you'd have to be pretty naive to think that a lot of these price increases that we're seeing on alternate art Pokemon cards now, like it's predictable, but you have to be naive to think that it doesn't have, there's not people out there buying them out to make profit off them. It happens in every industry. It just does. Like, you have to be naive. There's not everyone that just goes, I want one for my collection. Done. Wiping my hands of it. There's people that will go, they'll look at the floor of the market and they'll go, okay, there's 50 cards below. I'm just plucking a number out there. No card in particular. There's 50 cards below $80 US. And then the next one moves to 100. So if I buy all 50, I've shifted the market floor up to 100. And then, people go, hold on, this card's popped off to 100. And then it just starts this gravy train on the way up, doesn't it? So, don't be naive to think that doesn't happen, because unfortunately it does. Now, that's not the only reason they've gone up. Of course it's not. They're beautiful cards. That's not what I'm saying. They're beautiful cards. I'm just saying it does happen. Beautiful cards from an era that's going to go down in history. And a lot of these sets are starting to sell out on Pokemon Center, of course. We're seeing them move out of rotation. Sealed prices are rising, and therefore people are realizing, hold on, there might not be too many more of these singles hitting existence. So if I want to get one, I better get one now. So there's lots of factors at play as to why these cards have been moving up. But let's jump into a few and have a look at them. Hey, first one being Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike. Man, this card's popped off. It's gone from... And all of these graphs are going to show the last 3 months only. So literally in 3 months, this card's gone from $210 to $410 US. It is north of $400 US raw. Whoa. Hey, the other thing, interesting thing with a lot of these cards is, the PSA 9 price is just so close to the raw price. Like, it's phenomenal now, isn't it? Like, you used to get a benefit of getting even a PSA 8 or a 9, but now it's just like, what's the point? What's the point of the grading fees if it's going to come back a 9? But then again, chasing the 10, in a lot of cases, you'll double your price. In some cases, you could even possibly triple your raw price. So anyway, Gengar VMAX from Fusion Strike, $210 to $410. Now, as we roll through these, the next one I want to bring up is Giratina V from Lost Origin, $250 to $461. Lost Origin's now sold out on Pokemon Center. Booster box prices are, on the rise and will only rise more so. So this card is one of the most beautiful artworks we've seen in a long, long time. It deserves to go up in price. But what I was going to mention is, a lot of these old arts could actually retract in price a little bit. And we saw it with a lot of those Sun and Moon old arts. They just, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, the same, even 2 years ago, the same sort of thing that's happening to Sword and Shield now happened to Sun and Moon. Okay, we saw booster box prices go to the moon, rise rapidly as stock dwindled, and therefore, singles prices started to increase. Is it the chicken or the egg? Like, which one comes first? Is it the singles pricing that's increasing, that's pulling up the booster box price, or is it the lack of supply in the booster box that's pulling up the singles price? There's probably arguments for both sides, and maybe both sides will be equally correct. But what I'm getting is we saw the same thing happen in Sun and Moon era, where these singles just absolutely shot to the moon in price, and then all of a sudden, some of them have retracted a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of these prices aren't quite sustainable, especially if some of them have been caused by the unfavorable word that people don't like to hear, which is buyouts. Some of them could have been caused by that. I'm not saying they have been, but it can happen. It does happen from time to time. And if that's the case and the price has sort of artificially risen, there's every chance it could retract a little bit. But hey, these cards could also not be at the end of their growth. Next one I wanted to show you after Giratina is also the Aerodactyl V from Lost Origin. This is a super nice looking card as well. The two top hits inside Lost Origin, man, like all these artworks are stunning, aren't they? Now, that went from $82 to $138. The next one I wanted to show you, which people are a bit questionable about, particularly because it came out of the gate so hot, which is the Machamp V. It's gone from $83 to $152 in the last 3 months. Come out of the gate really hot at launch. Then it dipped and everyone's like, as to be expected, Machamp's not exactly a fan favorite Pokemon. We know he's an original 151, but he's no Charizard, he's no Umbreon, he's no Rayquaza. The artwork's cool on this card. I've said for a while, Astral Radiance is a huge sleeper set. It didn't cop that massive second wave reprint. It got a very, very small second reprint, and that's it. There's only something like, I haven't checked in a while, but 45 to 50,000 PSA graded cards for Astral Radiance, which is like, that's a quarter of the graded cards of Evolving Skies. It's half the graded cards of Lost Origin. You could argue there's not as many hits inside the set, so there's not as many hits that have been sent off to get graded, but there's still plenty of nice cards inside the set. There's Origin Form Dialga and Palkia, the Machamp, the Starmie, the Trainer Gallery's good. So, I don't know, it's a bit of a sleeper set in my eyes, but that Machamp, $83 to $152. The next one, Lugia V from Silver Tempest, $120 to $214. And same thing with this Lugia. It shot out of the gate high, dipped drastically, didn't it? And it probably dipped even further, or certainly stabilised when people realised, there was the tins that had, the chances of pulling a Lugia was quite high, and it was like, there's this seeded pools inside the tins, and everyone's going, what's going on here? And then, Lugia's price got hit even more. But hey, it was a competitive card, it was useful, and now it's back up to $214, so it's nearly doubled in price in the last 3 months. So it begs the question, like I was saying before, are these prices actually sustainable? Is there still some more room for growth in these? I think the answer is some of them still have some more room for growth, but some of them I also think have run out of room for growth. Next one I want to show you, Espeon VMAX, $125 to $222. This card is, in my opinion, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually prefer this card than the Umbreon. I think, there's a similar sort of vibe. They're both chilling on top of the house, or Umbreon's on top of the castle, reaching out for the moon, but I actually prefer this card to the Umbreon. Again, like I said, might be an unpopular opinion. But, next one I want to show is Leafeon VMAX from Evolving Skies. $165 to $315. I couldn't believe, when I was searching a lot of these, I couldn't believe how much some of them have popped off. I don't look at them every single day, and I was just thinking, wow, Leafeon is... Is it the nicest looking evolution card? I don't know. The numbers say maybe it is compared to, or second nicest compared to the Umbreon. But that's crazy. $315 it's worth now. Same with the Glaceon. I couldn't get $150 to $210 in the last 3 months. Hey, on the investing side, when it comes to singles, I did just recently do a video on this, and that whole idea is, do these have more room for growth? I think the singles that have room for growth at the moment are those ones that, the set's about to maybe move out of rotation. It's about to maybe, supplies dwindling down. I've mentioned a lot of the Crown Zenith singles, things like the Mewtwo V-Star, things like the Gold Giratina, these sort of cards where it's going, well, hold on, Crown Zenith might never get printed again, and it's already been printed really heavily. But if that pushes out, Elite Trainer boxes move up to 80, 90, even pushing $100 in a year or two, then singles are going to start popping off when it comes to sets like those, and even sets like Paldea Evolved. If that doesn't get a reprint, which we're about to probably see in the next 6 months or so, whether that happens or not, cards inside that set, the Magikarp will pop off even more if that's the case. Next one I want to show you, Blaziken VMAX from Chilling Reign. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hasn't this moved up? $165 to $338. And, Cool Trainer Ryan showed us just how hard this card is to pull. What did he end up opening? Some ridiculous amount of Chilling Reign booster boxes. And, this card is a tough pull. All alternate arts are a tough pull. It's that tiered grade, and these are just the next level of tiered, aren't they? These are tough pulls. So no wonder they sort of command the price that they command. And the last one I wanted to show you, which is also a beautiful card from Chilling Reign, is the Moltres V. $130 up to $178. Maybe not the exact same rise as the other 9 cards that I showed, but hey, that's taken one hell of a rise. So when it comes to investing, this is what I want to summarize it on, because I'm not all just about showing numbers. I want to have some, I suppose, substance to the conversation where we add some value or maybe give some direction behind it. The clear direction from me is if you really wait for a set, and it's the same as sealed, like it's the exact same premise. If we realize a sealed product is about to sell out and we can look at the floor of the market, and the floor of the market looks like it's going to shift, and I use the example, let's use an example like the Moltres for argument's sake. Let's rewind the clock back 3 months when it was $130. If there was only 4 or 5 listings sub $150, you can go, hold on, once those sell, the new floor of the market is $150, unless they get replaced, of course, with more listings at that price. But it's certainly not a race to the bottom with these, because, the booster box is out of stock. And the same thing happens with the sealed product side of it. If we can see that, whether it's on eBay or TCG Player, that, and let's talk eBay for a second, we can only see that, there's 5 booster boxes of Chilling Reign for, sub $200. Then, okay, well, once those sell, now we're up to 205, then we're up to 210, and then all of a sudden, as time goes by, we might get to the stage where there's only, a dozen booster boxes sub $300 for Chilling Reign. Then you know what? We're up to a $300 booster box, so the floor of the market can shift out. So it's all to do with timing. If you want to make money off singles, which is hard because they're quite volatile, but the same pattern does seem to rear its head, doesn't it? As in, sets about to sell out, booster box price starts to rise, out of rotation, sold out on Pokemon Center. People are going, hold on, there might not actually be too many more of these singles left. There might not be too many more open. All of a sudden, single prices start to rise up. Like I said, is it the chicken or the egg? Is it the singles prices causing that, or is it the sealed prices causing the singles? Either way, I don't think it matters. These singles have gone through the roof, haven't they? I'm Michael. This is Poke Oz. Catch everyone next time.